referee Morrison getting ready to blow this one on. A lot at stake here. There's usually high drama, lots of goals, and aggressive tackling in a Tivoli Arnett Gardens fixture. We're in the opening minute. Anderson gets close, bangs the ball away. Ronike Anderson
always looks to be carrying a few extra pounds, Ronike Anderson, but I'm amazed at how quick he covers ground and the quality with which he defends. Maybe he's just a man who's just gonna have a big frame regardless.
Yeah, scored one of the goals in their 2-1 victory over Portmore in the championship winning final 2 seasons ago. Ronike Anderson. Oh, and there's a smartly attired Jerome Waite. Well, he didn't have the jacket on when you spoke with him pre-match, George.
No, he's stepping up the thing. He says, so what? The league can't look good from the sidelines, and he's leading that charge. GQ, give that man a contract.
Jerome Waite also has coaching duties with Charlie Smith in the Manning Cup competition. Well, the Arnett Gardens captain gives the ball away. Malcolm.
Can't tell the last time I saw Kemel Malcolm start a Premier League game for Arnett Gardens. It was a long time ago, in and out of the team last season, and when he was in most as a substitute.
Yeah, Tivoli on the advance. Ball flicked back. Promising build-up here for Tivoli. Oh, just an extra touch on the ball there. That was too much. Oh, and Harrison goes down injured for goal for Arnett.
I wonder who tackled him. Must have been a ghost. Lance, the physical transformation. This is Ronike Anderson shepherding the ball back to his goalkeeper, who does this. And how did he injure himself there? Maybe Howard Morris stepped on him. That may have been the case.
Yeah, it seems so. Morris got pretty close to him there as he picked the ball up. Maybe just some studs there in the instep for Harrison.
That's Omar Edwards, the Tivoli coach. Lance, 2 years ago when we saw Howard Morris, the breeze almost blew him away in his jersey. The man has filled out, as they would say, really grown into his gear. Yeah, a little clip on the Achilles. Nothing intentional, though.
Harrison's long kick out. Challenged successfully there by Wellington. Hardware's pass is intercepted, but he has a second bite at the cherry. Punches the ball forward for Malcolm. Malcolm gets some support here from his captain, Morgan. Phil Potts goes all the way back to McGregor.
These things aren't major, but it's been a long time, Lance, that Arnett Gardens haven't had a captain who's playing at centre half. Marvin Morgan plays in the midfield. The captain before him, Onyudiga Thompson, played in central defence. And in their glory years, the Eugene Barneses of this world, they played in defence as well. So they have an attacking captain. That's a change for the junglists.
Yeah. Harrison. Oh. Knocks the ball away. Some murmurs from the Arnett Gardens fans. I guess there's a feeling that he had more options and chose a bad one. Attempted strike on goal by Murray.
Scrappy opening first 4 minutes, but Tivoli looking more positive of the two.
Anderson to Russell here. Anderson looking very relaxed at the back. Here's McGregor. First season at Arnett Gardens. Transferred from Barbican, who went perilously close to qualifying for the Red Stripe Premier League, but were outgunned on a late penalty in stoppage time by Mount Pleasant Academy in the playoffs. Arnett on the attack now. Malcolm. Oh, poor attempt by Malcolm, although it was blocked, but he really didn't get much force on the shot.
Was badly off balance, still went for the shot.
Morgan doesn't do well here, but recovers. Under some pressure. Now he's knocked over and wins a foul.
Yeah, the thing I like about Marvin Morgan, who gets some heavy tackles in games, his temperament is excellent, Lance. Hardly see him react when he's tackled hard, and he gets a lot of hard tackles week in, week out. like that one.
Yeah, that's Moulton there putting the pressure on. Price exhibits good judgment there and just allows the ball to run through to goalkeeper Clark. Ball just bobbles off Oldham's boot and goes over the touchline for a throw. Quickly, Moulton. Good extra touch there from Moulton and didn't keep the ball in.
Yeah, good pace on Andre Moulton though. Love to see him go through the gears just now, but just overran it.
Was Tivoli's leading scorer last year with 9 goals, Moulton.
With O'Neill Thompson out of the defense for Arnett Gardens though, Lance, you have a height issue from corners because he was the big man who headed away almost everything from those situations. The 3 that I'm looking at now, the 3 centre halves, well, centre backs, McGregor, Anderson and Jabir Johnson, don't have significant height. That may prove to be an issue for Arnett Gardens over the course of the season.
Yeah, here's Oldham doing very, very good work on the flank. His pass forward though doesn't find the target. He was looking there for Javoni Sims.
Very low octane start to this game in front of a big crowd here at the Tony Spalding Sports Complex.
And a pre-match interview. Oh, that was a delightful blade by Russell to Morgan. Morgan's cross, threatening. Sims. Oldham. Sims wins a throw close to the corner flag.
Didn't have a ready recipient for that cross, so dillied and dallied and eventually had it touched away.
There's Ezra and Sims in the 26 shirt, defender. A transfer from Marvin Hugh and then. Arnett on the attack. To the far post. Clark shows good judgment and safe hands. McGregor. Morgan. Russell. Has room now, Russell. Wellington. Just shoved over there by Malcolm. Free kick to Tivoli inside their own defensive third.
Patterns emerging already. Arnett Gardens, as you'd expect, trying to use the flanks to attack. Tivoli comfortable coming more central.
Moulton. That was in fact Colorado. Murray getting in a battle there with McGregor for the ball. McGregor almost lost it. Morris under some pressure gives the ball away. Oh, that's a great turn by Malcolm. Comes under a pretty savage tackle that was. And Arnett are now on the attack. Morgan gets into the box. Marvin Morgan still has it. Now he gives himself a bad angle, but keeps the ball alive to Sims. Malcolm tumbles over. The fans appeal for a penalty. No sympathy from referee Morrison.
I think he had a small case there, Kamal Malcolm. Went for the shot. Again, he was off balance.
Price wants to get the ball away, doesn't. A shot deflected from Hardware. Corner for Arnett, is it?
Yep. Davian Goldburn there getting in front of the shot. This is the rebound. And Hardware, that was on target. That was on target. This is the penalty shout. Yeah. Well, he kicked the player, so he wouldn't have gotten that call anyway.
Yeah. So Malcolm gets a start here and wants to make it count. Arnett on the attack. Throw to Arnett. So the fans very lively early in the piece. And we have the makings here based on the huge crowd support of a tremendous night of Red Stripe Football Mondays. Hardware coming to the season with a bit of a a back injury on the mend.
Jerome Wade says he's over that ailment. I asked him before the game, off mic, off camera.
Yeah. Came on as a substitute in the Cavalier game, which they lost 2-1 in stoppage time, courtesy of 2 late goals by Nicholas Hamilton. 3 red shirts in the box, and Hardware looking for an opportunity to find one of them. Now 4 in the box. There goes Johnson, Jabor Johnson, to add the numbers. Hardware's cross inside. Oh, the header.
Steve Wright with the header, Lance. That was vital.
Yeah. Thinking he had gone for another corner, probably a throw. Yeah, there was a header from Steve Wright. Renike Anderson was just waiting to pounce. Kamar Steve Wright with a headed effort there. And corner to Arnett. Second set play from the flank, and Javon Sims will strike it left-footed. Has several red shirts to aim at. The ball ends up on the near post.
It was a poor effort that he got lucky with. That wasn't meeting anybody at the near post.
Hardware collects. Gives the ball back to Sims, who goes for goal! Just over the top. Clark in goal for Tivoli. Wasn't sure exactly if he had it covered, so he made the stretch for it.
Look at this. Nicholas Smith doesn't press the ball enough. Doesn't press the ball aggressively enough. Gives him time, and he took time, lined it up. Always rising though.
Yeah, so Arnett beginning to find their feet now after an opening 3 or 4 minutes. That saw Tivoli pressing them back in their own defense. So a start that has been lively, if not high quality. Tivoli on the advance. Oh, the ball just eludes Moulton.
Poor anticipation from the striker. That was a peach of a pass, Lance. Took the defender out of the equation. But Moulton just didn't read the flight well enough. And that's why it beat him.
And Arnett shockingly giving the ball away. Malcolm turns well. Brilliant turn by Malcolm. Tries to use his pace to get into the box. Doesn't get a clean shot off. Harassed by the defenders. And that put him off.
Wow, that's a flavor of the pace that Kemal Malcolm has. Pace to burn. I think he shot too early, Lance. He could have taken another touch, but Price was breathing down his neck. Look at this. Soups, I'm gone. 1 touch, 2 touches, getting it out of his feet. The defenders are dead to him, but that little shove by Price just knocked him off balance.
Yeah, Price,
and then he just cuffed the shot, yeah.
Yeah, Price just put some pressure on. And then there was the additional presence of Ezra and Simpson, who also went in to make things difficult for the Arnett striker.
I tell you what, that's very good when you're an attacking player to do that very early, to let the defenders know that you have their beating for pace, just in case they were wondering. It will induce panic the next time he picks it up and turns. He may be fouled early in the play. If I were Kemal Malcolm, I'd be driving into the box often, seeking to win a penalty.
Yeah, there's Jerome Wade.
At the least. Penalties can be missed, right, lads?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You don't have to go too far to have evidence of that. Johnson down hurt here.
Yeah, took some studs to the thigh.
Yeah, he'll be fine. He's a warrior. There's Moulton. 9 goals last season for Tivoli. No goals yet this season. And there's a huge crowd on hand to watch Arnett against Tivoli. Simpson with a clearance upfield. Oldham. Hardware hustled off the ball. Murray. McGregor gets in the way. Very cool customer McGregor at central defense for Arnett. Oh, delightful ball forward there for Russell, coming from Morgan. Excellent challenge from Seavright. Doesn't allow Russell to get through.
Doesn't have many bad games, Kamar Seavright at centre half for Tivoli.
That was Phil Potts with the ball across. Arnett on the advance. Hardware! Hardware! Ball always going wide. You saw him creating room for himself. In the end, got himself in a position that made him satisfied that he could strike at goal, but the ball always drifting wide.
Again, not good enough defending for me. You have to press the ball, pressure the man with the ball. Sifright was just shepherding Hardware into a zone from where the Arnett man manufactured that shot. Didn't miss by much, but Tivoli will have to be more aggressive on the defensive end, almost acting as chaperones for the Arnett Gardens strikers instead of looking to close down the ball.
Hardware summer transfer from Boystown, who have now been relegated. Arnett finding their boots now. Now the speedy Russell has it. Oh, he goes for goal. Ambitious and unsuccessful at the same time.
Yeah, that's something you encourage though, Lance. Try to catch the goalkeeper unawares of the left foot. Sometimes those flying and you say brilliant goal.
Yeah. Pre-match, Jerome Waite told George Reed, Fabian Reed, there's Omar Edwards, coach of Tivoli. Russell finds himself with some room here for Arnett. Gets a pretty strong challenge. Morgan under pressure from Wellington. Phil Potts under pressure. Whistle.
The number 9's clashing. Wellington fouling Marvin Morgan, and if he isn't careful, Wellington, he could go into the book. Morrison reached for his pocket just now, Lance, and changed his mind. But Tivoli getting killed on the flanks in these first 17 minutes, Lance. Arnett dominating the game from wide positions, especially wide on the right side of the Arnett attack. Phil Potts wanted to play the 1-2 with Marvin Morgan out of your shot. That's not the reason for the free kick. It was the foul, the blocking foul on Marvin Morgan by this man, Rico Wellington.
Yeah. Hardware will pretty much take charge of most of these set plays here for Arnett Gardens. Prepares to whip the ball inside now. Oh, Oldham missed kicks. Sims over there on the left. Can't get by Simpson, who does good work for Tivoli. The clearance upfield not too good though. Smith in the end gets the ball away left-footed. Hardware does well. Oh, Anderson's attempt for a first-time pass into Malcolm misses the target. Morris, he may want to strike it from here. Morris does some good fancy footwork. Still Morris. Oh, Morris does well. Now he tumbles over. And McGregor just shepherds the ball back to goalkeeper Harrison.
Very good play by Morris. Brave. Didn't see a pass that he liked. Took on the defense by himself. But McGregor very strong in the tackle. Over the head of Phil Potts, gets rid of him. And then doesn't have an option that he likes, drives at the defense. Good work inside the box, daring the defenders to bring him down. McGregor just gives him a nudge, and he accepts the invitation to fall and roll. No foul, correctly says the referee.
Yeah, Morris, just 21 years old now, a former standout at Hydel, and beginning to find his legs here at the highest level.
Yeah, I was just about to mention how quiet he has been, which has hampered Tivoli's attacking thrust.
Anderson puts the pressure on. Morris doesn't really challenge for the ball. Huge difference in size between these two men. Renike Anderson and Howard Morris.
So Jamil Hardware, Lance, has caught fire in the last few minutes for Arnett Gardens. He's interacting well with Marvin Morgan and Lennox Russell on the right side. That's the man, Jamil Hardware, now putting the strings for Arnett Gardens. Morris, not so much in the game for Tivoli. Their playmaker wears number 12. And Rico Wellington, who should be doing most of the attacking from the left-hand side for Tivoli, having his hands full, trying to thwart the forward runs of Marvin Morgan on his side of the pitch.
Yeah. I would suggest that with Vishal Harris out of this Arnett Gardens roster because of that groin injury, Jameel Hardware is more than an adequate substitution for him as far as his vision and creativity in midfield are concerned.
Absolutely right, you are.
Big, strong challenge there from Chipper Johnson. Stops Moulton in his tracks. We're almost halfway into this first half. No goals, but a lot of intensity between these two teams. Both have been 5-time champions of the Premier League and 5-time runners-up as well. So they're pretty accustomed to being among the top flight when the season ends. Arnett have been champions twice in the last 4 years. Tivoli twice in the last 10 years, but no title since 2011. There's Oldham. Focus of our My 90 pre-match feature. A former Camperdown player in the Manning Cup football competition.
Arnett plays such a high back line, Lance. It's a feature of their play with their 3 centre backs. But Tivoli has yet been unable to exploit that situation.
Arnett 57% ball possession at the moment, courtesy of what they've been able to do over the past 15 minutes, because in the opening few minutes of the game, Tivoli had a lot more of the ball. Morgan under pressure from Wellington. Hardware. Oh, brilliant skill there from Hardware. Phil Potts. McGregor. Anderson. Cool on the ball, Anderson. Russell pulled off the ball by the veteran Nicholas Smith.
Yeah, and the left side of Tivoli's defence, through that man, working overtime to contain Arnett Gardens, who are raiding. And because they have 3 centre-backs, and sometimes the man in number 15, Renike Anderson, who is one of the 3 centre-backs, is adding an extra body in midfield. So
Yes.
Arnett really overloading on the Tivoli Gardens defenders, trying to force those mistakes.
Well, Morgan has lots of red shirts to aim at here for Arnett, but his kick is poor. Gives the goalkeeper an 80-20 advantage on Morgan's attacking players. Oh, I thought McGregor misjudged the flight of that ball a bit. In the end, wasn't able to head it forward. Harrison has possession for Arnett. Philpotts goes along. Simpson gets it away. Morgan under pressure from Murray. Whistle. Free kick to Arnett.
Did very well to protect the ball there, Morgan, under 2 strong challenges. Again, nothing to complain about. Temperament good, he walks away from the scene.
Yeah, pretty brave young man, Marvin Morgan. Part of the St. George's College Manning Cup winning team in 2009.
And give him his due, Lance, now a part of the national setup.
Yeah. Hardware. Poor pass. Moulton. Oldham. Morgan. Oldham under pressure. Arnett with a corner.
Again, O'Neill Thompson was valuable from these situations. Lance, he'd come up, the big skipper, about what, 6'4", and give that target man in the midfield, in the middle. Arnett have no one of a similar height. Not to say only tall players can score from corners.
Yeah. 5 men in the box for Arnett Gardens. Oh, Hardware missed kicks. And Anderson goes for the spectacular overhead kick and doesn't do well there. But Hardware should have done a lot better with his left-footed effort initially.
Yeah, and again, ordinary defending from Tivoli. 2 balls contested in the box. Both balls won by Arnett Gardens players. That's not good enough from the defensive side.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what happened with Hardware there. Just didn't get a proper connection there, left-footed. Maybe trying to hurry the ball a bit too much because He saw the opportunity. There were defenders preparing to close in on him. Oh, this is Arnett under some pressure.
And that's the ball Tivoli have been trying to find so far this evening. That long ball over the top, because the defense plays so high. There is space behind them for the forwards to run into.
Johnson looking for Malcolm. Seabright does really well there. Morgan. Sims under pressure. Seabright challenges successfully.
Swims has switched flanks with Lennox Russell. Sims has now come to the right centre, Russell to the left.
Smith gets a big left boot onto that one. So the high press from the Arnett team forcing Tivoli's attacking players like Moulton to come very deep to try to retrieve the ball, because there isn't much going on for him when he stands up top.
Yeah, and those two young ladies, Lance, waiting for something to happen. They don't look best pleased. I suspect they may be Tivoli supporters.
Hardware. Just a little bit too much weight on the pass for Hardware. Gives Seabright the opportunity to sneak in and win possession. Hardware wants the quick throw. Oh, neat football by Hardware. Morgan. Knocked over there by Goldberg.
Game needs a goal now to really spark things into life. Twice
in the last 6 meetings between these two teams, we have had nil-all score lines. As I said, the most popular result between these two teams is a 3-2 result.
Oh.
5 times in the last 11 meetings, George, between these two teams, we've had a 3-2 result.
Oh, how I'd love 5 goals tonight. I'd love 5 goals tonight, whichever way it's shared.
The most recent coming in February of this year in the 2017-2018 season. And Tivoli beat Arnett by 3-2 right here, with strikes from Thompson, Moulton, and Calvin Richards.
Another set-piece situation. Arnett haven't capitalized thus far.
They have another opportunity now, and again Hardware with the set play. Has several red shirts in the box to aim at. Sims is also there. And I would suspect that this would be a Hardware strike, right-footed, as opposed to Sims with the left foot. Well, Sims takes it, getting close to the goalkeeper. And that's Seabright with a header out. Wellington breaks free on the counter-attack for Tivoli. Ball headed on here. Colorado Murray goes for the strike. Oh, Harrison bobbles the ball pretty clumsily. But that was poor football, both the strike and the goalkeeper's effort.
Yeah, well, what about the link-up play between Morris and Rodico Wellington on that counter-attack? Lovely stuff between them. And then Murray spoiled it with a powder puff effort.
Yeah. The finishing touch is poor. Murray. That's Moulton going for the strike. Big kick from distance, long range.
Wellington has a problem, Lance. He's down with an injury. Just went down without being tackled. I was watching him and immediately signaled to the bench that he's in distress. So this is the free kick, headed clear by Seabright, and then Wellington gets him before Hardware, puts on the jets, gets away from Phil Potts. Nice touch. Look at the header by Morris, expertly into the path of Murray, who does this, and then the goalkeeper made it look as if the hardest shot in the world.
Yeah, it was clear there that Murray was going for placement as opposed to power. He saw where the goalkeeper was, but he just didn't hit it well enough, and Harrison looked as if he was prepared to fluff his lines. Luckily for him, there was no one challenging close on the rebound.
Don't know what happened to Rodico Wellington, but he's walking from the pitch now under his own steam, and he just went down. The shot was taken, and he just went down and then signaled to the bench for treatment.
Yeah, there was nothing in the passage of play suggesting that he was knocked or
maybe the sprint out of defense, Lance,
yeah,
caused him to aggravate something.
Yeah, because it was some sprint. Morgan. Philpotts. Oldham. Anderson. Philpotts again. Arnett untroubled at the moment, passing the ball out of trouble. But the challenge from Murray on Johnson is successful. So on the half hour, no goals yet. Tivoli looking for a win tonight. That would put them 5 points clear at the top of the table. They're 3-0 from their 3 matches so far.
Yeah.
The wins over Dunbeholden, Reno and Mobay.
Just love how Arnett Gardens play. They play with 3 centre-backs. But at any time during their attack, you'll find one of those centre-backs in the opposition penalty box. It's daring, it's high risk, usually pays off.
Malcolm does really well here with the dribble. His finishing strike, though, doesn't trouble goalkeeper Clark for Tivoli.
Again, I'm not going to criticize my forward for doing that. He only had one passing option to his left. That was Sims. Didn't like what Sims was offering him because Sims wasn't moving, was just stood there waiting for the ball to come. And he took the shot. I wouldn't complain. I'd encourage him to keep going.
So a new look Arnett Gardens set up here with some of their championship winning stalwarts. O'Neill Thompson, Keneal Hyde and Renee Lloyd on the move in the summer to Humberland. But one thing about Arnett, this club has always been blessed with a proliferation of quality players, and at the moment they appear to be managing well with their new look outfit. 2 wins already this season over Reno and Humberland. And as coach Jerome Waite mentioned, their loss to Cavalier a little disappointing. They were leading up to the 89th minute, George, and then they gave up goals in the 90th and stoppage time to Nicholas Hamilton and lost to Cavalier.
Yeah, he told me off camera that it was a conditioning issue, that the team was weak, tired at that time.
Shavar Campbell did well on the left side there, looking for the return play, but the pass didn't come to him. And Arnett, Hardware, Anderson, Morgan shoves Wellington off the ball. Claims he didn't do anything.
These two have had a battle all evening. Well, in the first half an hour of the match at any rate.
So Arnett supporters waiting for their team to ignite them.
Anderson claims he was fouled. That'll be very difficult for Colorado Murray to push over a man Reniki Anderson's strength and size.
Anderson. Oh, Russell does well here, but gets a strong challenge from Nicholas Smith and wins a free kick. Russell does.
But how can Nicholas Smith complain about the award of this free kick? That was a clear foul, Nicholas, and you know it. This is Russell just knocking it away, and yeah, you got no ball, swept away both feet from under Russell.
Challenging from behind. Free kick to Arnett. There are a couple of strikers who will be interested in this one, including Hardware, I'm sure. Russell may want a piece of it as well, and Marvin Morgan too.
Lance, you know the fans in the Eastern Caribbean know their dancers and their Jamaican dancehall stars. It's useful to tell them that Lennox Russell, who wears number 3 for Arnett Gardens, is the nephew, that's him, the nephew of the late Gerald Bogle Levy, one of the greatest dancers in Jamaica's history.
The man that Beanie Man sang about.
Oh, yes.
And Buju Banton as well.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah. Free kick to Arnett. Oldham looks as if he has the strike. There he is. He was in my 90. This is the 34th minute. Morgan. Crashed into by Colorado Murray. And the Tivoli players aren't happy about the referee's call.
Yeah, losing their rag a bit. But again, this was a foul. This is almost like an NFL play, Lance, where you play a pass to win, to restart from a more advantageous position. And this free kick would be better aligned than where it was previously. Because that was a poor free kick routine, to be fair.
Morrison stands firm with his decision. Clark now has an organising job to do to set his wall up. Based on where the kick is being struck from, he'll have to have at least 5 players, I think, in this wall. And look at the number of Arnett players interested in the strike. Hardware, I think, wants it now. Summer transfer from Boyce Down, Jameel Hardware. Hardware, what a strike! Tipped over. Grazes the top of the crossbar, I thought. Jameel Hardware, already with 1 Arnett goal so far this season, almost there getting another.
Tremendous. It looked to me, Lance, as if the goalkeeper just got the faintest of touches, but maybe he didn't from that angle.
Yeah, I think it just skimmed the crossbar.
Yeah, too much.
Without touching the goalkeeper's arm.
Yeah, that was a brilliant effort, though.
Oh, he's a quality player, Hardware. Did spend 3 years in the USL Pro League, playing for Harrisburg City Islanders and St. Louis FC. Smith does have a strong left boot on him. And that one carried all the way into the arms of the goalkeeper, Harrison. But some good moments so far in the piece here for Arnett Gardens. With little success, though. Moulton charges inside. Does well to keep possession of the ball. Pulled over by Phil Potts. Oh, referee may have thought briefly there of a yellow card. He definitely dragged his shirt.
Yeah.
On a professional foul. And I would suggest that the Arnett man is lucky on that play.
And maybe it's because it's his first major infraction.
So Phil Potts takes one for the team. Or I guess that was his intention, but he doesn't take one because the referee doesn't get the card out. And Seafright is the man who will strike it. And his body language is suggesting that he'll punch this one with all the power he has toward Harrison, who looks shaky in the Arnett Gardens goal. Seafright's strike is high and wide.
I was almost going to ask if he's a right-footed Hector Wright, and then I thought of why not call him Hector Left? The former SEBA captain and Jamaican midfield stalwart who was tremendous from that range back in the day, Lance.
Yeah, even from his school days at Herbert Morrison, I think he attended. Tremendous player, Hector Wright. Played on the Jamaica Caribbean Cup winning team in 1991 as well. Murray. Oh, he goes for goal, Murray.
Poor decision, Lance. Nicholas Smith was overlapping to his right and wanted the ball played behind the defenders. And Murray didn't oblige.
Oh, the ball sprays free here for Sims, who slides the ball across the Hardware.
Offside.
Free kick to Tivoli.
That was a gorgeous pass, though, and I blame Hardware for not holding his run or not timing his run properly. Look at this from Sims. Yeah, well, it's not a perfect angle, but he is offside.
Yeah, he was. So some frantic moments for Tivoli here. They've had more anxious moments in their defensive third than the Arnett team has. So with 7 minutes to the half-time break, I guess we could safely say that of the two coaches, Waite may be a little bit more satisfied than Edwards is. Strong shot across goal. Almost goes for a throw, the effort there from Simpson.
Tivoli look threatening on some of their counter-attacks, but bad decisions being made by their two front men, Moulton and Colorado Murray. Not seeing a bit of selfishness, but they're going for the glory. I guess that's the same thing it means when they create their opportunities. And Arnett doing much of the running in this game with nothing to show for it.
Oldham flicks the ball forward, but there's no one there. Johnson defends well for Arnett.
No nonsense approach.
Yeah.
Knew he was going to collide with the defender. Didn't care. Was going to clear the ball, whatever the price. Peppered shrimp going down well with the football tonight, Lance.
Yeah.
And red stripe, of course.
And the temperatures as well, because it's pretty hot here on a night that should be cool. Sims. Wow. Morgan takes his eye off the ball and loses it. Throw to Tivoli.
Poor from the skipper. Sims has caught the eye so far in this first half. I'm surprised though that they haven't gotten Malcolm on the ball much more, Lance, especially after that early turn and sprint.
Yeah.
Which gave him a shot. They've not been finding him regularly.
Russell does well to snatch the ball away from Simpson. Russell has good pace. Comes under pressure. Gets support from Oldham. Morris. Tivoli. Smith goes wide. Simpson. Morris. Still Morris. Oh, delightful ball inside here. The shot over the top from Colorado. Murray should have done better there.
And the better he should have done was to slip Moulton, who was to his left, Lance. Again, Tivoli getting into a dangerous position. Again, Howard Morris brought the ball beautifully out of midfield. This is him taking possession now, the number 12 man, driving forward. Lovely pass. And look at Moulton right here, wanting to be slipped in. And Murray went for the glory himself. That was selfish.
Yeah. Well, Moulton was in acres of room all alone in front of goal. Wellington really doing a job on Marvin Morgan tonight.
Yep. Has won most of their duels for Nico Wellington. Even though the Arnett captain and attacker has had some moments.
McGregor's long ball downfield. Campbell with a clearance for Tivoli. Morgan now has it. Hardware. Tries to find Malcolm. Philpotts. Hardware. Anderson tries to go between the legs there of Goldburn. Oh, good pass. Hardware blocked by Wellington.
Another winger switch by Arnett Gardens. Russell coming back to the right and Sims going back to the left. They've constantly changed. They've swapped about 4 times so far in this half, trying to confuse the Tivoli defenders.
Price with the clearance out for Tivoli. Murray knocked over. Free kick to Tivoli, pretty high inside their own half.
Yeah, I suspect Omar Edwards, the Tivoli coach, will have strong words, especially from Moulton and Colorado Murray, asking them, gentlemen, what's the malice? You can pass to each other. You are allowed to do that. You are teammates after all. Not doing that enough.
Wellington forward. Moulton loses his balance. McGregor. Big kick up field. Seavright gets the clearance away for Tivoli. Oldham. Philpotts. Hardware. Oldham under some pressure. Malcolm. Oh, Malcolm goes for the strike from distance. Caught the attention of goalkeeper Clark.
Quick thinking. Really didn't want to do that. Wanted to sprint away from Seavright again, but the ball was bouncing. He would have needed too many touches to get it under control. Maybe the defender would have robbed him. That's all that went through his mind in that short space of time. So went for the snapshot.
Malcolm, like Marvin Morgan, Manning Cup championship winner with St. George's College of the past. Malcolm, a 25-goal scorer that schoolboy football year in 2008, when he helped to propel STGC to the Manning Cup championship title.
one of those players, Lance, who misses vision on Harris because Harris passes to him early, unlike most of his other teammates who insist on dribbling the ball almost into his lap before passing it to him. Speed balls like those, a poor touch from him there, but speed balls like those, Lance, when you have a runner in your team, the best thing to do is to give it to him early. Control turn, take on the defender.
Just a minute to be added on for stoppages. And we're already into that minute, so within the minute we expect Morrison to blow this first half off. Right Honourable Edward Seaga, former Prime Minister and for many decades leader of the Jamaica Labour Party, served as Member of Parliament in the Tivoli area for about 40 years. Household name in Tivoli. He's been there for all the 5 championship titles that Tivoli has won in local football. 1983, 99, 2004, 09, and their last in 2011. Morgan trips over the ball. Russell, delightful ball forward here to Malcolm. Sims retrieves. Malcolm in support. Whistle from Morrison ends the first 45 minutes. No goals. A pretty intense battle between these two teams. Not the most tidy of football matches between the Tivoli team and Arnett Gardens team.